All right, yeah, welcome everyone. This is Awesome Game Replays, episode number 12, and this time we're actually returning, as well as STG Weekly has, from the summer hiatus, so I hope you guys all had a good summer. We're back with Awesome Game Replays, number 12, and this week we're going to be covering a wonderful, awesome, totally great, awesome game on the Famicom and the NES, only released in Scandinavia. We'll get into that a little bit later. Called Gimmick or Mr. Gimmick from 1992, released by Sunsoft. And we're going to be talking all about this game today. We're going to talk about why it's awesome, talk about, pretty much that. And with that, going into a demonstration from myself, a little bit about some of the mechanics. I'll be doing a little bit of live play. And then after the live play, we'll be checking out some speedruns, because that is where this game ends up shining quite brilliantly, just like the star on Yume Taro's head. And after that, we'll take a look at a TAS of this game as well, which is also quite mind-blowing. And so, I am Aquas, of course, and I am joined by a co-host, Owl Anonymous. So, hello, Owl.
How you guys doing today?
Yeah, I know. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good, and I'm really excited to do this episode because, just I just you introduced this game. Well, you didn't introduce it to me, but you basically ended up showing me that this game was really worth giving it a shot and trying it out because a lot of people know the game because Cypher would do the games done quick events, and he would run this game, and I believe that's how you discovered the game as well.
Yeah, I discovered the game in his Awesome Games Done Cake 2012 run, and then I became obsessed with it after that, basically. And then he did another run in 2015, and I was already playing the game then. But when I got introduced to the game, there wasn't that many resources and that many speed runs on it. So the only reference video that I had was his Awesome Games Done Quick video that I could find.
All right. Yeah, I mean, so it's partly thanks to him that this game actually started to become known. Also, there's a really great review of this game by that I really enjoy, by Pat the NES Punk on YouTube, and he does a really good job explaining just why this, like all the little details and stuff that make this game quite awesome. So we're going to be trying to focus a little bit more on the mechanics and exactly how the mechanics of the game end up making it one of the deepest experiences on the Famicom. And definitely seems like it's also ahead of its time. I mean, there's just so much to say because Owl and I just really do love this game. And I mean, it's just too good.
So since this is Awesome Games Replay, do we have to use the word awesome a lot more?
Yeah, I mean, it's
kind of hype it up.
I mean, everyone loves awesome, right? But, I mean, so just a little bit of brief stuff about the game. I don't know, where should we start? Basically, you play this character, Yume Taro, and he is a plushie. He was a gift to the girl in the orange hair, a birthday present. It was her birthday. And so we see the whole story in the intro, and we watched it, but he was a gift to her, and basically, she sets Yume Taro, or Mr. Gimmick, we can call him either or. She sets him on the dresser above the other plushies, and I guess the other plushies get jealous, and they kidnap the girl and bring her to an alternate dimension, which kind of reminds me, I compare it to the alternate world of Little Nemo, how Little Nemo kind of had the Slumberland world, and even the girl, she's in a bed in the beginning of the game, so I kind of compare it to Little Nemo a little bit. What do you think about that, Owl?
Yeah, it has that vibe.
Yeah.
And it's a classic story of a second dimension or another dimension, and I just thought it was really cool that her previous toys, if you watch the intro, are in like a basket. He's up top, so he's obviously being played with more, and they kidnap her, and then a boss is all of her previous toys are bosses in each level.
Yeah,
So
that is
all previous toys.
Yeah, that is a really, really cool detail as well. why don't you talk a bit more about the mechanics of the game and throwing the stars up the head, because I gotta fix something up real quick here.
All right. Well, everything that you do, all your stars and everything, they throw differently depending on how high you are, how fast how fast you're walking. The mechanics are really unique. It plays really tight, like an early Capcom game or Nintendo game. I compare it a lot, and people always, first time they see it, they always think it looks like Mega Man mixed with Kirby. That's not too far off. Other than Kirby doesn't really have, a faster type of gameplay, at least the Nintendo and the Game Boy ones. But yeah, you can throw your star. You can jump on your star. Most enemies you can jump on, and you won't die. You get 10 points. There's three. You can hold up to 3 power-ups at once, and the power-ups are a health potion, a fireball, and a bomb. And you need all of those to get to, the very last hidden stage. You need to use those tools that you have.
Yes. And with the star rides, of note is that you can ride the stars in basically like probably 300 different ways or something like that. You can ride the star in so many different ways, and it just takes a lot of familiarizing too, just to finally get used to it. But that's the thing with this game. Like, you can watch it and it looks really cool, but until you ride a star on your own, you play this game for the first time, then you finally understand like why it's just so awesome when you finally start riding a few of them. And but you actually so there's a good and a bad ending, or a bad and a best ending, I guess you could say.
I like to call it live girl and dead girl.
Yeah, where you're trying to rescue the girl, and the best ending, to get that best ending, you have to find bonus items, and there's one located in each level. But to get these bonus items, you are forced to ride the stars, way more than you're forced to from just completing the game normally without even collecting those items. So when you first play the game, you'll play through it, and then you'll see this kind of ending where Yume Taro is thinking about the girl because he didn't rescue her, and then you have to go back and learn more how the mechanics work in the game, and then it just really builds on itself from there as you start to re-familiarize with the game.
Yeah, the game's so hard. I can't imagine a kid, investing all this time thinking he beats the game and then learning that he didn't even save the girl. And I think if I remember, there's 1 or 2 lines of text in the manual that's supposed to say that you have to find the hidden items. I forgot what it was. What's the show, the Japanese show where he's like in a lab coat and he plays through games? They have a gimmick that's hilarious because they slave all night and they play through it, and then they realize that they didn't get the items.
Oh, Game Center CX.
Yeah. That episode's so funny.
I haven't watched that one yet, but
I'd highly recommend it.
Man, cool. So he didn't really know, huh? Until
no, they didn't know, and then he actually has like an intern slave all night, get back to where he was, and then when they move the Famicom, the cart glitches out, and he can't play it.
Oops. So I'm gonna actually pull up the game on my own and give you guys just a little demonstration about how the star rides kind of go, and just show you a little bit how the gameplay goes. Just before we get into these replays that are just going crazy with nailing every star ride, because it's not easy to get to that point at which we're going to be watching some of these replays. So you turn that off and bring this up, and suppose we can. So yeah, I'll get right into this here. Of course, it would help if I actually plugged my controller in. It's always That always helps.
Are you still using a PlayStation controller on this?
I am, yeah.
It's got to be so hard on your hands.
It's actually not bad. This PlayStation controller I got is pretty nice. It's a PlayStation 1 controller. I don't know, like, some people don't like the PS1 controllers that much, but I kind of like them myself. Okay. So why don't you talk about a little bit about the Scandinavia and Japanese release stuff too, since that's always a question.
You want me to talk about it, you said?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the game was released in Japan only through Sunsoft in 1992. And this is 2 years into the Super Nintendo's lifespan, so it's a really late Nintendo game. It eventually got ported. It did pretty poorly, actually, because people thought it was too hard. And it was expensive, more expensive than like a normal Nintendo game, because it has an extra sound chip in it, which produces 3 extra channels of sound. So it did okay enough to get a Scandinavian release, like as a test market, which is a PAL version, which runs at 50 kilohertz versus 60. So it's a little bit slower, and it also is stripped of that extra sound channel, those 3 sound channels.
Right.
Supposedly there's a US prototype, but I think it's just a ROM hack.
Yeah, the Scandinavian version is so weird. Yeah, it runs slower, and it just. I was playing it for a little while, like as I was starting out, and once you go to the Famicom version, you're like, what the?
Yeah, you were checking out because you had interest of me from me playing it, and I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you playing this version? And you're like, oh, I didn't even realize. Yeah, but the Scandinavian version, it plays really, really slow. So if you do want to play this, there is a US prototype that you can find, or you can patch yourself. You can patch the Japanese ROM to run on a flash card or emulator or whatnot. But if you're using an emulator, you should just run the Japanese version.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so
the game doesn't really have any text. The only difference in the 2 versions is the title screen says Mr. Gimmick underneath Gimmick in English instead of kanji. That's the only difference in the game.
Right. Okay, so I'm in the game here. One thing we didn't quite mention much is that the game also has a lot of... Well, it's pretty much based off of momentum and the physics system, but with that, you have slopes in the game, which you can gain speed from and also slow you down when you're going up them. So I'm just kind of messing around here. When you're going down a slope and you jump, you maintain your momentum, and also you can maintain that same momentum on a 3-frame window when you jump on the ground. So in the speedrun, for example, you'll see that they'll go down slopes, they'll maintain that momentum and just keep on jumping as much as they can to maintain that. And that just encountering the slopes for the first time is just weird in this game too. It's like the physics system just, you get thrown into it just right away, and you have to adjust to it.
Show them the intro star ride, the very first like big star ride you have to do.
So yeah, so this first stage has a longer route to get to the secret item. We have to go to the far right of the stage. I'll just go over there real quick.
Yeah, show them like both ways.
It's supposed to jump up here and they actually so this jump on the far right, you're actually supposed to do a star ride to get up to it. So this is where in the best ending you're forced to learn how to jump off of a star off of a wall. You can't actually get up here without doing this, so the game's forcing you to learn this, and it's actually a pretty tight timing to get a jump like this. Basically, you bring the star out, you're holding the star out, you approach the ledge, and just as you throw it, you hit the jump button. So there's definitely a knack to the timing. So
my first way I learned how to do it in that corner is you face the wall at the very end. You throw the star off, bounces off the wall, and then you jump on the star and then jump up. I couldn't figure out the jumping and throwing the star at the same time when I first started.
You're right. That is an advanced, kind of advanced tactic. So, yeah, you're right. When you're starting out, you just kind of throw it against the wall and you kind of wait for the star to come around and then use it to help you out. That's definitely true. So yeah, you can go up here, and then there's a series of platforms that you guys jump on, which is a little difficult too. and it brings you to this flower in a vase. The bonus item. But in the speedrun, you're actually required to do one of the trickiest types of jumps in the whole game. So in the speedrun, it's very good for resetting, because if you miss it, you're gonna want to reset. But in any case, it's very tricky. You have to bring the star out, and how I like to set it up is I just stand here, and I jump, and I make sure Yumetaro goes past kind of those like arrows in the background. There's a lot of visual cues in the background of this game to help you set up your star ride, so I jump past that a little bit. When I turn around, and when I immediately turn around, I throw the star backwards. It bounces off, it bounces back up, and then Yumitaro gets launched up to the secret area. And that allows you to, save like 30 seconds in the speedrun, so it's definitely something you want to do. And the game lets you do it, so that's why it's awesome.
Now, there's little things in the game like this that speedrunners exploit. I wonder if it was designed with that in mind.
I would like to think so, because, like I say, there's a lot of visual cues in the background that help you to do some of these tricks. Like even this first trick, like they have these arrows, like this weird arrow background. Like, why is it there? But I think it's just there to actually kind of help you out, and you'll notice throughout the game too that the backgrounds are quite varied in a lot of places. They're not often like repeated textures. They'll be varied in a lot of ways so that you can use those to help you time out the stars.
Yeah, on some of the star rides, there's actually a little notch square into the wall, which is telling you where to throw the star to get the exploit.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we'll see later.
And so, anyway, so the very next area in the first stage has just a ton of slopes and these spike pits. So they're just throwing you right into the mix with the mechanics of the game. And the spikes, unlike in Mega Man, if you take damage and then you fall into the spikes, you could use your invulnerability to jump off of the spikes and survive. Not the case in this game. You just die right away if you fall on the spikes, so they're a little bit more punishing in that respect. So yeah, I mean, you have this second room where it just like throws all this crap at you. Definitely not an easy stage one.
No, I have the fortunate of having a weekly Nintendo night out at a bar, and I play Gimmick a lot. I bring my own Gimmick card out, and I make people play this, and I just love watching people die so often in this game. This first stage you're saying with the spikes, nobody gets past.
Yeah,
the first time. And
definitely not.
If they're a good player, maybe they'll make it to the bomb boss at the very end of this, but I remember how intimidating the bomb used to be before I learned the strategy on how to, basically seal his bombs and not even get a bomb towards you.
And then so they give you like a fireball in this area too, so you can actually use the fireball to kill destroy those droppers on the top. And that can help you out. So they show you what's up. We could probably get into the item drop stuff now. So the way the item drops work in this game is that they're based off of the hundreds and tens digit of your score. So for example, my score right now is 770. That will yield a fireball drop. However, the drops are laid out in such a way. So fireballs are going to be hundreds and tens digits will be 110, 330, 770, and 990. When those numbers line up and you kill an enemy, you'll get a fireball drop. For bomb drops, that will be on 220, 440, 660, and 880 in the hundreds and tens digits. And then you have the health potions, which you can get when your hundreds and tens digit is 000 and 550. So there's a nice little order to that. And that'll definitely help you out when you need to get some items, or when you want to get some items in the game. Not obvious at all that that's the case, but it just takes some kind of experimenting.
Okay, and how do you points manage?
So yeah, so if you want to maybe say, for example, just get a couple points so you can get yourself to 999. I'm at 920 right now. You can ride a star, and similar to how when you jump on an enemy and you get 10 points, when you jump on a star, you also get 10 points. So you can get 10 points just for jumping on the star. Beyond this, you can get multiple points from a star ride, and this is an advanced technique that I guess the community likes to call grinding, where you can ride the very edge of the star, and it works the best if you do it on the second to last or last bounces of the star. Basically what happens is you fight the momentum, or again, it's like basically you're constantly falling on and off of the star in this respect, and you can get multiple points at a time. I'm not at a good spot to do it right here, so I'm just gonna, this is game over. But that's another trick you can do to gain a lot of points. I'll demonstrate it here. Just look at game over real quick. But in that respect, you have to get good at that in the speedrun, because in the speedrun, you'll be improvising points, and you have to try to adjust them the best that you can. So, try to demonstrate the grinding here. Well, maybe that's not the best part, but it would be a good place to demonstrate that.
The first part you can grind off. The first part of the first stage one, where all the bombs are, you can do a star right there and grind.
Okay, I'm gonna give that a shot. Yeah, it'll be okay here. Alright, so I did it there, and I got about 60 points. Try it again. So there I did it again. You see Yumitaro kind of falling on and off of the star, and I got about 80 or 90 points there, and it takes a lot of practice to actually start figuring out how many points you're going to get from a grind like that. It's an advanced technique. So anyway, that's another way to manipulate the points. Also, all the enemies have different point values. So you also want to take note in that as well, and to manipulate the points. Now, this marshmallow, I call them the marshmallows. This guy, after a while, he eventually just takes off. He grows like some propellers and starts flying around.
Yeah, I didn't actually know that until you showed me.
Really? Yeah.
It's so crazy.
So, yeah, the enemies
AI in this game is just amazing. They feel like living organic creatures that respond to not just the hitbox, but respond to you like they see you on the playfield.
Yeah, they'll follow you around. Like, the bosses some of the bosses in particular are really smart. Like the pirate.
Super.
The AI on that pirate is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that should kind of sum up kind of what you have going on in this game. You also have your life bar. It's represented by the Skittles next to the rest. You can find health max life up, so increase your max health up to 2 more pieces of health for 4 health. Otherwise, you start out with 2. Those are the orange potions, and then I think there's a health refill. Then there's a health max up. So there's 2 different health items there.
Yeah, I was always wondering about that. Sometimes you, when you get a health, it will only give you 1 health bar. But sometimes when you get a power-up, like on the end of stage 5, it gives you max health. And when you restart, if you die, you stay with max health. Is that because that's a max health?
I think they're separate items.
Okay.
I'm actually not sure, to be quite honest. I forget. But, yeah, so I'm in this little waterfall section here. You have a couple new types of the marshmallow enemies. These ones are like electric ones, so like they kind of follow you around, but at the same time they'll kind of spark. And if you don't know when the spark's gonna happen, they'll spark you. They give you different points. This marshmallow in the window, in like the kind of window apartment here, he gives different points as well.
You have to stand on them to kill him.
Oh yes, the electric ones, yep. And then the stage 1 boss is kind of cool because every time you hit him, he changes his pattern a little bit on you. I think he does. Yeah, he does. So you hit him twice, and he starts like sprinkling the enemies on you. And it's like really hard to avoid all of those. And then if you hit him three times, he just dies. But I like when he sprinkles the enemies. It's amusing.
Yeah, most of the bosses on their they normally take what 3 to 5 hits or so.
Mm-hmm.
On their very last health point, they get very aggressive, and they just throw out everything they have to get you.
Yeah, so that's yep. So I finished the first stage here, so I suppose I'll go right on to the show off the pirate boss, and then we could probably go into some replays.
Yeah, the boss on this, if you get to him early enough, he's sleeping with an alarm clock that's supposed to wake him up, and you can push him off without even fighting the boss. There's if you get to him in normal time, he's ready for you. The alarm clock's not even there, and you have to fight him normally. And then there's a third way that if you do like I don't know what the frame count is or whatnot, but if you throw a perfect star ride when he's at the very edge, you can knock him off without fighting him as well. Just throw a 1-star hit. But that's actually slower because you have a longer bonus countdown.
Yeah, the pirate boss is pretty interesting. He's got, like a few different ways to kill him, and I think there's actually, if you knock him off, like, you get the most points, but you can also just kill him normally, and then you get less points for just killing him normally, and then there's the quick kill method, which is the speedrun method, I guess, where you just push him off, and then you have to push him off at just the right moment to actually make the score not count down. So
yeah, and
anyway.
to be able to get that in the speedrunning, the good ending speedrunning, you have to do this bomb skip that he's showing, where you throw a bomb and you jump, it bounces off your boat, you jump on the bomb, and then you jump up and clip through the top of the screen, and the game thinks that you just came in from a tunnel that's on the stage. And then you have to ride a cannonball all the way to the secret area without hesitation, and you have to get all the way to the boss, all within, the time window that they thought would be considered an early ending.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's to get that. I'm a gimmick player. I'm a good gimmick player, but I don't have that goal. That's like my number one goal, is to get those two, get the early kill and get the bomb ride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which it requires just amazing skill. And I've been playing the game for a couple years.
Certainly, yeah. That's basically a huge rite of passage for the speedrun, is being able to do all those things, and it takes quite a bit of practice. But you can get to the sleeper guy just by kind of just walking to the boss room as soon as possible.
Yeah, without getting the secret item, you can see the sleepy ending.
Mm-hmm. So showing off the boss here a little bit. Yeah, so he's kind of a smart cookie. When you hit him, he kind of changes up his pattern a little bit. He jumps at you. He chases you. He's a really tough boss, especially if you don't know what exactly he's up to like that. Anyhow.
There's little intricacies, like when you kill him, his sword goes flying. If the sword lands in wood, it sticks into the wood, but if there's a little metal platform to the left, if it hits the metal, it clinks off. I mean, that's amazing for a Nintendo game.
Mm-hmm.
It's just little attention to detail that this game has that really makes you appreciate the game as you play it and get to learn it.
Yeah, and you've got definitely a few more details like that in the game.
Like when you have those turtle enemies, they're upside down, they're walking, and if you stand on them, they push you because they're walking.
Also, there's some secret areas. There's one secret area that we found. We kind of found out about somewhat recently. Maybe if I can ride the cannonball here. Well, I'm gonna have to push it over because I don't have a bomb. See if we can do this here.
Yeah, and that's the way that I used to always ride the cannon, and it's extremely hard because if your timing's off, you just fall into the water.
Oh, I didn't get the cannon jump.
There's a bomb above you. You can go get a bomb that way.
Ah, right. Well, I like to show off that secret room. You know what?
Yeah, that's something I didn't even know about until somebody did in a run, and I freaked out because finding something new about a game you've been playing for over a year is a little weird.
And yeah, even these cannonballs from the ship, they give points, but there are actually some items that you destroy that don't give you points, so there's some little weird exceptions in the game like that too. There's also a checkpoint here. If you let the boat get to the end and hit the edge there, you'll get a checkpoint, so you don't have to redo that section every time. And then also, there's a fun Easter egg in the bottom part of this ship, where one of these black marshmallow enemies can be controlled with the controller 2. I might be able to show this off in the emulator actually, if I can just bind it to on the keyboard here. Maybe I can give that a shot. So there's just this random enemy you can control. All right, so I'm controlling him now.
Yeah, you can actually hop on him and control him around. Unfortunately, you can't get him out of this area.
So there's some fun little stuff like that in the game. Yumetaro can hang out with him for a while. Oh, I despawned him. I just killed him. Oh, there he's back. He's back. So, yeah, Sunsoft, I mean, they were going nuts with this game.
I mean, almost all of their titles were just ballpark hits. Batman at this time, Blaster Master, Hebariki, which didn't get a US release either. We got a Scandinavian, I think, Euphoria, under the name Euphoria.
Journey to Silius, Gremlins 2.
Yeah. Fester's something?
Fester's Quest.
Fester's Quest. And then, unfortunately, when they went to the Super Nintendo, they became more of a publisher than an actual developer. And they put out some horrible, horrible stuff. Yeah, the music at this time, this era, all of these games have amazing music as well.
Did we talk about the extra chip? I think we mentioned that too.
Yeah, so the original cart, and also why it wasn't released in the US, is because it had an extra sound chip. I'm trying to.
So here's the bonus area. If you ever play this game and you need some items, once you get over here, you just take a little star ride. You take a little star ride, bounce up, and jump into this area, and they have some items for you. Also, a fun little note is if you have 2 items together and you push them together, you'll actually form a 1-up item. And that's also helpful for getting the best ending, because one of the other I think we mentioned I mentioned the condition for the best ending is 1 credit clear, because if you game over, it resets all the items. Anyway, you can push the items around and push them together. I don't have 2 here anyway. But anyway, yeah.
The sound chip that they use, it's incorporated into what's called the Sunsoft 5B chip that adds an extra 3 audio channels. And it's basically, they license the Yamaha YM2149 sound chip. I play on a reproduction cart from Infinite NES Lives, and it allows you to add that Yamaha sound chip in there to get the full audio. I think there's only... I don't think any of the other Sunsoft games used it. The Gremlins 2 Famicom cart has the same chip, but it doesn't use the extra audio channels.
Oh, is that so? Okay.
Yeah,
I knew it sounded familiar. One.
People try to convert it over to use the extra audio channels, but it's a hack. Like, it looks horrible.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, that I'll probably do it for my demonstration here. We can probably start getting into some replays, some speedruns, and this will allow us to talk about just what goes into the speedrun now, and just the facets of it, and et cetera, et cetera. It should be quite awesome.
Let's do it.
This is one of the best speedrun games, I think, out there, and it's because there's so much finesse is required for these star rides, and I didn't really demonstrate. Actually, yeah, that's one thing I did forget to demonstrate, is that you have just so many different types of star rides, but we'll see it in the speedruns. But you have just so many different types, like, because with the star rides, your vertical and your horizontal momentum is taken into consideration at the point of releasing the star. So, it's just, you really gotta know how much momentum you're gaining when you're in the air, you're doing your jumps, when you're coming down from the apex of your jump, and there's, I think, 7 or 6 levels of jump in this game as well. Just by how hard you press the button. Try to demonstrate it. Like, you get a super tiny jump, which is like probably a 1 frame tap. Slightly higher, and it gets slightly higher. Higher. So you have all these different variations of the jump. So I actually really love that there's the variations of the jump, because when you're playing, it almost feels like the game has a button sensitivity. Because when you press the button hard, it's kind of like you're gonna get a medium jump. But suppose if you tap it light, maybe softer, you get a smaller jump. So in that way, they designed the jumping just really nicely. It just feels really good. Okay, why don't we get into some replays? Okay, so the first replay we'll be showing is an any % run, and this is going to be just this is the bad ending, and this is going to be ran by Becored.
And we don't mean any disrespect. We've said Becored for the longest time, but we believe it's Becored.
And yes. So this is a Japanese player who has the world record. We'll be taking a look at his world record speedruns for any % and best ending. However, we won't be going in that order quite yet. So,
well, he doesn't have the world record for bad ending or any %.
Oh, he doesn't.
Cypher does.
Oh, Cypher. Okay.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Correction.
He hasn't. This is an old. This is a 7-month-old replay that we're gonna watch. He hasn't. He didn't want to tackle the 80%. He wanted a break from the game, from what I've heard.
My mistake.
Because of the waterfall skip, you have to do the waterfall skip on the 80%.
Right.
To really get it, which I don't know if this one has actually.
Okay, so I shall do a countdown here. You got the replay ready, Owl?
I'm ready.
Okay, great. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, he had a false start there. That's super common for running this game.
Okay, so he's points managing already. That's what that little hop was.
So typically at the beginning of the run, you want to have this number that he's got now, 7,600 points, and this number is he's going to be following a route, a scoring route, which is going to allow him to get all the items that he wants throughout the run. If everything goes to plan, he'll get everything he wants at the right time, and he'll have the items he wants. There you had him do a star ride there, brought him right across the whole place immediately, and just bam, that was stage 1.
Yeah, Record's actually in the chat. He says again, Cypher has the world record for 80%. Yeah, it's at 7:04. This is a 7:10 run. We didn't use Cypher's because it has his audio talking into it. Otherwise, we would have used that. So you're going to be doing the bomb. He's going to be doing the bomb skip here, but one thing later to get to the right side of that tunnel, and we're going to see a sleeping boss here that he's able just to push off.
So he skips. So the way he killed him there is actually skips the score counting, and it only works like that if you're jumping off at the same time as you kill the boss.
Really, I didn't know that.
That's the condition. Holy crap!
Oh,
waterfall skip!
That's
Oh!
That's like the hypest thing in the game.
That's the first time I've seen it.
Oh, you've never seen that?
I've
It's
never
amazing.
seen it before.
And as
Oh
a
my
player,
God, shit
you're
my
looking
pants.
at that and you're just like, no.
Oh.
Yeah, I
Oh.
want that eventually too.
Okay, so in that little section, that little cave section there, he's jumping, so he grabs onto the corners of the slopes. He just wants to ride those slopes perfectly, so he doesn't get hit by those falling platforms. Abuses the invulnerability successfully.
He's able to get early hit boss hits here by having bombs, 3 bombs ready. There we go.
And you're unable to hit this boss early if you don't have bombs. Otherwise, you have to wait for him to crawl up and then shoot a Kira laser beam at you.
Yeah, for
then-
3 complete cycles.
And then you have to wait like a long time.
So the jumping on there on the little flying dinosaurs is points management. So he's at 330 now. So
Yep.
he'll get a fireball whenever he kills an enemy.
Set up for another fireball.
There we go.
Now he's got 990. Gets another fireball.
There's a little jump maneuver right there.
No.
You're able to skip about 5 seconds.
And it's interesting because that little hole there is, it's there maybe to be a pitfall if you go up the normal way, but you're actually able to do one of the hardest star rides in the game to actually go through it and save probably 20 seconds in the speedrun.
Now,
Okay.
on that one, we're going to get quick kill on this boss by using a fireball, or the little mini-boss. Otherwise, he takes 3 hits. I think that gap that we see players exploit is on purpose. I believe that one is.
Yes. And I've noticed that there are a couple other places where they intentionally put stuff like that to show you, like, there's certain stars that'll get you certain places. Like, for example, it's gonna be hard to explain, but there's another jump that's just like that one, but it's not useful at all. But anyway. Oh man, this run happened so quickly, but no, I think we're good. I was just yelling because of that waterfall skip. As far as the mics go. Anyway, normally there's an enemy on a minecart that follows you here and shoots you, and
There's a little hidden Easter egg. If you knock the bomb that's riding on the cart behind you, if you knock him off and kill him, you can actually hop into the cart and shoot the gun by hitting your button.
Mhm. Another little Easter egg.
Yep. I was stuck at this boss for 2 months.
Really?
Well, like I was playing this casually, learning it, and I learned the game from Cypher, but I wanted to kind of learn it on my own too. So I would only refer to his videos if I had to, because I wanted to learn it organically. And then that's when I really started inspecting people's techniques and learning the best ending.
Right, right. So yeah, we in the speedrun, we really don't get to see how evil that boss is, but basically, after you hit that boss originally the first 3 times, it's unable to avoid its laser attack, and so you end up taking a hit usually, and then you end up probably taking another one, trying to get him again, and it's kind of ugly. So he has got the two fireballs there to get the quick kill on the mini guys there. They're also really interesting to fight. Really smart mini boss there, where you can only actually hit them when they attack you. But yeah, Becored just blows through this, doing many star rides that are pretty rough.
Troll bomb. That bomb, if you
Yeah,
go
bomb.
for it, you don't know where it's at, it will kill you. You'll fall into the spikes. And the respawn is at the beginning of this like castled area.
And
Here's one of the best star rides in the game.
This is one of the most crucial star rides in the speedrun, because if you die on the stage, you go back to the beginning. And it's
Plus,
over.
riding normally through that area takes about 30 seconds.
Yep. It's one of the coolest star rides and most crucial. And
I
they
remember having a little celebration when the first time I ever got that star ride.
Yeah, that's what it's like when you kind of learn and get better at this game. You do like you finally hit certain things or get a certain star ride, and it's just like you feel a sense of accomplishment just from that alone. Just imagine speedrunning it; you're doing it the whole time.
So this is the normal last boss. There's 3 phases of these wizards. The first 2 are pretty manipulatable. But that third one he just killed super easy is really random. You don't know which pattern you're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a super quick kill.
It was
and
quick.
This is the normal ending that you see if you beat the game without knowing about the secret items. Or if you continue, you don't see, you get this bad ending as well.
Right. There really is like a lot to talk about with just the casual play of this game that the speedrun completely goes by. So everyone who watches this episode, you really gotta do yourself a favor and try this game out and play it for yourself. Because yeah, those wizards they're not too bad.
They can kill it. Wizard 3 can kill and run.
Yeah,
easily.
Totally. So yeah, so that was Any Percent by Becored. In 7 minutes and 10 seconds was that one. So now we're actually going to look at a best ending run. We're going to look at 2 best ending speedruns. The first one is going to be from a player omqwat. omqwat is the name.
Or Quat.
omqwat.
I don't know.
In any case, he did this run sometime this year. It's not it's not world record, but the idea is I just want to show you guys the difference between the world record and a lesser run. Basically, in the world record run, so the speed run is very optimized. It's probably, I don't know, I'd probably say it's one of the harder records to beat on the NES library. If I had to just make a very rough speculation there. But Becored and Cypher and the top players of this game, really, like, it's just amazing. I don't even know how else to put it. Because it's just it's basically pure execution, and then aside from the RNG with a couple bosses, that's basically comprises the speedrun. But we're going to go into omqwat's 1335 run.
I thought it was 1144.
Or, sorry, 1144. That was,
Okay.
1325 was the duration of the video.
Gotcha.
So, I'm going to bring that up. Okay. Let's make sure it's on there correctly. Okay, I'll just do a countdown and we'll get right into it. All right, 3, 2, 1, go. So, yeah, once again, in the best ending, we're going to see all the items, the secret items in each stage collected. There's the first one doing that incredibly annoying jump at the very beginning of the game to get it immediately. You see right there, he wanted to kill all those black marshmallows in a row to achieve the 7,600 points, which is part of the score route. And through these first 2 parts, he's keeping the momentum from the slopes, and just remember, he's got to jump in a 3-frame window every time he lands to maintain that momentum to just optimize the speed of the game. Here he just wants to grab a bomb real quick, and up to 640, he kills that enemy. That brings him up to 440, and now he's got the setup to get a bomb from this boss with 440 points. And since the boss doesn't change your hundreds digit, you're able to get the 3rd bomb right away from this end, from the little turtle Koopa guy. Like, the similarity to Mario 3 is even more apparent when you have that enemy there. Like the Koopa shell enemy. Because I hear people compare this game to Mario 3 a lot because the HUD looks very Mario 3-like as well. And the graphics, I think, too, are very reminiscent of Mario 3. So, does that bomb skip. And now he is going to be going over here and riding this cannonball, which is on a global timer. And what that means is at the beginning of the stage, there's a timer that's running, which is according to when the cannonball is being fired out of that cannon. And so if you approach that cannon the same way every time, you'll be able to ride the cannonball with a little bit of ease. Otherwise, you'll have to judge by the audio of the cannon shooting and try to jump on it yourself. The alternative to getting that item is pushing down the cannon to the lower platform, and that allows you to get through without jumping off of a bomb and then jumping up, which we saw him do. Alright, so right away, he does another star ride, and then he was grinding on that star on the second last bounces to achieve a score of around 600 to 660 points. That's what he wants here, to set up for the next bomb item, which you'll get in a little bit.
You need to have 3 bombs at the end of the stage.
Preferably, yeah. So there's the secret item there. You basically get that one for just using the bomb to kill the antlion enemy down there. Not obvious, but it's doable.
I'll get another bomb here, yeah, with an 880. So you have to compensate for jumping on the bomb. It's going to give you 10 points.
Mm-hmm. And then we like to call that enemy Totoro, because he looks like Totoro from My Neighbor Totoro. I like that. I mentioned, first time I was trying to ask Becored about that enemy, I was like Totoro, and he knew. People know Totoro.
Oh, it looks just like him.
It looks just like him, so it's pretty great. It's also kind of interesting thematically in this stage. You have one of the probably the most creepy enemy in the whole game. These pussy insect enemies, which kind of is very a stark contrast to everything else in the game. It looks very kind of cartoony and cute.
So back on those trees, if you ride one of these dinosaurs to the tree and jump on top, it has a secret bomb drop.
Another secret.
You can ride the ostrich there if you shoot the bomb off the top of them. I used to include it in my run, but it takes a little bit longer.
Riding the ostrich is pretty fun. So once again, he's grabbing some items and going for the... He gets that jump first try again, and then here he takes a little damage boost. Apparently it's hit twice there.
How many jumps would you allow in your run? Of that jump skip?
4 to
Maybe
5,
2 or 3?
probably.
4 to 5? Okay.
Yeah. It's quite tricky, and you really have to figure out your own setup sometimes when it comes to some of these trickier star rides. You gotta have your own feel. Just watching a replay isn't quite enough sometimes.
Okay, there we see a different star ride to access the area, which is similar to the star ride I used to do before, just jumping and throwing a star against the wall. He throws it against a previous wall and then jumps on it that way, which looks like it takes a little bit more time. Maybe half a second.
Yeah, so if you're trying to learn how to speedrun this game, you'll have kind of safer and easier versions of star rides that you can do, and then you can upgrade to faster ones that are more risky. Like, for example, that star ride to get into that bonus area, there's that pit right below, and if you're just going for a star ride right off of the wall, if you just jump straight to the wall and then jump off call it a wall star ride jump, if you do that, you risk falling down into that pit, and then there's a backup to get back up the pit, but it's also very difficult. But if it happens in the speedrun, it's going to be no-go. Nice little trick. Yep, nice little trick there. Gets on the edge, very edge of that, just by kind of hugging the wall. Go ahead.
You have to hit that switch to enable access to the secret area later in the stage.
And that's the only instance of a prerequisite action, right? For a secret.
I believe so. Yeah, most of them are just accessible through star rides.
This one has you actually have to remove the water from the section where you'll be falling down. Then you have these flamethrower guys. They're pretty annoying too, because if you knock them down, they end up actually getting back up eventually.
So there's a little mistake. He wanted to take a star ride over these little platforms. It saves a little bit of time, maybe 2 or 3 seconds. But what we're seeing here is a really good run, but it's just the optimization that the world record has to shave off a minute and 50 seconds about, or a minute and 48 seconds. It's just insane the level of skill that had to, for the perfect run to shave off that much time.
And the fact that the game, allows that is insane.
I don't know if it allows it. It's more like it's breaking the game. So he's not throwing a bomb here. He could have thrown a bomb there early to get an early hit. And that way he'd only have to throw 4 stars.
And that boss is also interesting too. If you stand behind him after he takes a few hits, he starts rapidly launching missiles at you, which is comedic and also a bit strange because you're normally not really supposed to be behind him because it's like, what are you doing? But if you're behind him, you're probably just trying to speed kill him with your invulnerability. So they knew you're trying to pull some crap there.
So something you won't see in a speedrun, the 2 enemies that we get are like a hamster and the Eggman. The hamster won't attack you unless you attack his friend, the Eggman. So he's just fine there. But if you hit a star against the Eggman, he'll go right at you, defend his friend.
I actually have to correct you on that. What that enemy actually does is follow your star. Is what he does.
Okay.
Because if you throw it to the left, he just chases it and goes away.
I thought it was because you hit the Eggman.
Well, it's not a bad assumption because there is the tooth enemy later, where if you kill these little birds next to him, he gets angry. So there are instances of enemies becoming angry for doing things. I mean, maybe he does actually get angry too if you attack him. Regardless, I mean, there could be actually 2 functions there. But in general, if you're throwing the star at him, like he sees you throwing the star, and therefore he's gonna be coming at you. Alright, so onto the whiz fights here. We didn't really talk about the secret item on this stage too much, but
there's a few ways to access it. We can get to it in Beco's run.
Sure. And
those are 2 pretty quick kills.
With the wizard too, if you hit him with a bomb directly at the beginning of the fight, he'll always come down towards you, and then that allows you to throw a star that will go off screen, and then you can throw another. We didn't really mention either, but yeah, you can only have 1 star on the screen, and so really, you really have to pick and choose like what stars you're gonna throw, especially during this Wizard 3 fight. Sometimes.
Yeah, and that Wizard 2 room has ice, and for some reason your star takes longer to dissipate. So you don't want to be just throwing a wild star because it'll be around forever.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to throw a star that you know will either hit him or escape out the ice to the left. That was a pretty long fight.
Yeah. We hate those.
Been there.
But
yeah,
yes.
Still a really good time. 10 minutes going into stage 7.
Yep, that's pretty good. And then for reaching this.
Okay, he does a tooth ride, but he does a slower setup. We'll see in the next run that you can throw a star at the tooth and it'll run at you faster.
Yep. I love that. To me, like the reward of getting this stage is the music.
Because the music's great.
Because instantly, like you can hear that the bass of this song is just so present, and it's just like, damn.
Okay, you could have done a star raid there to the right off that wall. And also on the platforms earlier, there was an upside down enemy. If you don't think you're gonna make a new record because it takes half a second to jump, you can jump there and the enemy will fall off the conveyor into the water.
Yeah.
Okay, he doesn't do a star right here. He could have had some more time. He could have done a star right off the stars, which we'll see in the next run.
I always like the final star right there. And then the true last boss. The first form looks super sinister, and then he turns into this American Gladiator type guy. I don't
Train
know.
conductor with Reeboks.
with no
Yeah,
face.
we call it when you get kicked. We call it getting rebucked. So that was a normal kill. There's a way to quick start that boss, and there's also a quick kill once he turns into a second form, which we'll see in the next run.
Yeah, and if you don't know how to fight that guy, he is super difficult. You really want to have him against the right corner, but if he's in the left corner, he can go off screen. And then if you just kind of play chicken with him, and he's just always going off screen, running off screen, and like throwing like air slashes at you. But it's really tricky to get like when you're first fighting him. He blocks basically all of your stars, and he also reacts to your stars as well.
So he saves the girl.
Yep.
They go back through the portal to her bedroom.
Just straight into the bed. Nice. Well, it's like a soft landing. And they look out into the city lights. Actually, you probably can't see it on the stream because it's 30 FPS, but there's a flickering effect on the lights to give it a kind of city effect. And also, I noticed this isn't on stream, but there's the number next to on the splits for, I think that's the attempt counter. And it,
oh my god! I hope not.
It's 450,000.
Like, that's not. That
can't be right.
No. But your attempt counter, you're at 1800, aren't you?
I'm already at 1800. Yeah. They really ramp up in the speedrun.
There's getting past the first two stages. We call it Reset City. Basically, if you don't do the first two stages correctly, you just reset, and you're lucky. The first screen is the first stop on Reset City.
Yeah, you're gonna be living there if you're going for a harder star ride. There's a very optimal star ride that saves 2 seconds. That's really annoying because you have to then do like a very specific type of jump to throw the star in order to kill all those black marshmallows in a row, because we didn't mention either that when you kill enemies in a row with 1 star, you get a different amount of points than you would if you killed them all individually. You get a consecutive value of points.
Correct.
And
what about there's also point extends, but I'm not sure what they are.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but you get quite a few lives for just doing the best ending because the secret items give you a ton of points.
And with the consecutive hits too, they seem to come out.
Yeah. All right, so so I think we can move. We're gonna move on now to the world record run of the best ending, and this is completed in 9 minutes and 58 seconds, compared to 11 minutes and 44 seconds from the previous run. So we'll definitely be able to see. I think you guys will be able to tell how it looks a bit different and just how amazing this run is. This was a work in progress for quite a while. Okay, let's do it. And this is once again by Becored. All right, so here's the countdown: 3, 2, 1, go. So this is the trickier star ride where you have to throw that star off of the black marshmallow and make sure that the star doesn't bounce over any of them. If it bounces over any of them, that's an instant reset, and it happens probably 80% of the time for me.
August, what's your timer right now?
I'm at 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So he already has the bomb, so he just goes straight to the star ride against that little ledge there. It's a very difficult star ride to get because you want that star ride to actually get past the enemy that's in the window who will actually stop you if you hit him. And then you also want that star to hit an enemy in the window and kill him to get the proper amount of points. Very specific star ride there, and that one was actually very, very specific. Stage 1 is very involved, which is definitely a good thing. I don't like boring stage 1s. So he destroyed the cannonball there to bring his points to this value. And let me go ahead and do the little boat skip here. Coming right into that tube. Star ride, and
since he knows the timer, he pushes the cannon there to give himself a consistent spacing for the cannonball. Not spacing, but time-wise, because of the cannonballs on the global timer. He was doing some grinding there to get the 440, get a bomb.
And then also a very subtle thing is you can push that bird for a faster ride through the air than normal, and that's just another very small speed optimization that the game allows.
Now, if you push the boss off too early there, he'll hit you with a sword and you'll die. On the stage 2 boss.
So there he actually did a very specific star ride where you kind of just have the ceiling, or the edge of the ceiling above Yumitaro's head, and if you have it right, he gets picked up by the star, essentially. And that's it's unconventional, because usually you're seeing the star bouncing against the wall and then going in the opposite direction, but in that case, you're throwing the star against the ledge perfectly so that you're going in the same direction the whole time. That's also one of the other optimizations there. He throws a star immediately as he exits that cave to go do a star ride,
which I've not been able to figure out. I've tried so many different ways.
I can help you out with it. I've been learning it myself, but man, it is tough to get right. Basically, like right as you fall out of that screen, you just hold right, and then immediately throw the star, and you should normally
latch onto it. Do you have to face the star left there?
You face it right.
Yeah.
And then you basically are holding right as you're transitioning down, and then as soon as the next screen pops up, you throw it. It's super tricky, and that only saves like a second the way he does it there. But he's got to save those times.
So he didn't kill the bomb there, the arrow archer bomb, by accident, but he was able to just get past it without it ruining the run.
Now we're going to see this room done differently than last time. This will be done optimally, as I recall. At least I think he gets it.
He does. Another one of the ceiling star rides.
Yeah, so that's a specific type of star ride there. When you have a low ceiling, you can, if you're familiar with the concept of pianoing or plinking in Street Fighter 4, you can piano a star ride to a jump, and basically the throwing the star and the jump in between it is like maybe 1 or 2 frames, and that allows you to instantly get on a star on a low ceiling. That's one of the riskier star rides there, because it's a bit easy to bump that enemy and fall into the drink. Oh man, this star ride in particular took me a long time to get.
I have no idea where that star ride is.
You have to do the low ceiling ride, but on top of that, it was just the fact that you're jumping like right before it, so it's just like a matter of familiarity. I think I finally got that one.
That ride right there, if you don't kill that bomb boss, can be extremely hectic. Or the bomb guy that chases you.
There's another one of these same direction star rides. Very difficult to pull that one off. That's one of the harder star rides in the game.
That was a little star ride optimization to the platforms.
And
he does a riskier strat there by jumping and jumping from the platform to the upper ledge with a star. That's a very easy star to miss.
and if you miss it, runs over. So
yep, basically.
So
he dies there on purpose because it warps you back. If you don't ride the conveyor belt back, you respawn at the beginning of that stage. or that section.
So there's the early bomb to get the first hit.
Yeah, which we didn't see in the last run.
Basically, the bomb just hits him before you're able to hit him. Due to the splash explosion.
Okay, he was jumping there against the wall on Star Rides to get his points where he wants at 970.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that he opts for a third fireball here.
He uses 2 right here. Oh, that he goes back for it, you mean?
Just a, I thought in the route it was best to get a bomb for this part, but I think maybe it was just because his point order was switched up a bit. Because the fireball isn't particularly as useful as a bomb in the end of the game, I think. But anyway,
Here's the secret area, the Star Ride. There's a few different ways to do that room. The traditional way that it wants you to do is to push that trampoline over, and then push the bomb cannon over, and then ride on the bombs that way. But
I didn't even know that. Wow.
yeah,
Traditional.
well, that's the way it's like designed for you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like he did, where you just throw a star falling down, or you at the way that I do it, you start at the very beginning of the room and you throw a star against that right wall to do a long ride that allows you to access the secret areas to the left.
I see.
Those are really 2 quick wizards.
Yeah, good stuff. Unfortunately, it blocks the first star there. Bad RNG on that first part. Okay, use the fireball there.
Yeah.
Gets a star there that thankfully hits a bubble, and so the star goes away right away, so he'll throw another one. He gets bubbled. He got bubbled again.
Ooh.
And then you gotta throw it. Still pretty good, but it could have been faster. It can always
Probably
be
about
faster.
2 seconds faster.
Yeah. You can get lucky and really kill him quickly, but you can also get unlucky and just have your whole run screwed over.
And he's going into it at 8:37.
Ooh,
That's
so good.
insane. I think I'm still on stage 3 at that time. So he threw a star at the 2 to make him sprint towards you. We call this the 2 ride.
So this is the very obvious version of grinding there.
You can actually do what I call taking the dog for a walk, and make that that little spiked black blob ride with you.
Mm-hmm.
And he turns around at a certain point, and that's when I know when to throw the star against that wall to hit 2.
So last stage is pretty straightforward, but it does have its share of technicalities.
It's definitely one of the easier of the stages, but it's, if you mess up, that's the run, basically.
You can actually land that star to hit the platform and ride it even further. However, he missed it, unfortunately, but not a big deal.
He's always going for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's too dangerous. We miss an early start there. You can get the beginning of that in 2 cycles. He does a left start, which normally you want him on the right, but he just took it. He's looking at the timer, and gets a sub 10. His whole goal was sub 10.
Yeah, this was the final goal for Becored here. It was sub 10 minutes. And he got it just, let's see, how long ago was it now? A couple months? Months ago?
He was at it for a few months, yeah.
Well, when he achieved it.
Oh, sorry. This is 2 months ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 months ago. So, 2015, Gimmick in there.
Beating 10-14. And he had I believe a 10:04 or 10:06 for a little while, but he wanted the sub 10.
He got 10:04, and then he got 10 minutes offline. And then he came back. He came back and did a 9:58 on stream. So amazing run.
So good.
Deserves a little clap. But yeah, so that run is improvable still. I mean, that's how insane this game is.
But what? By like maybe 8 seconds, you're not gonna touch that again.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, yeah, 8 seconds probably, but It's improvable. It just, the time is there, so it's not quite over. But
the grinding it would take for somebody to get to below 958 would be a year's worth of commitment, I think.
Somewhere close to that.
Yeah.
And if, everyone, you should also follow Becored on Twitch here. Please do. Please do. He's an amazing player, and he also runs some other speedrun games now, besides Gimmick. I think
he's working on a few of the Rockman 4 and 5, I think, and then Wario Land 4.
Yes.
Wario Land 4 looks amazing, by the way.
So please follow him. Top class player, definitely. Oh man, so so good, so good. I want to. Oh man, I'm still tripping because of that waterfall skip and the any percent.
The waterfall skip is.
That was the first time I saw that.
Well, we're watching the tool assistant next, and that will definitely be in there.
Oh, great. Yeah, so we got one more replay. It's the tool assisted run, and this was put together by Aglar with the aid of Hotarubi as well. Not sure exactly how the efforts were split on that, but let's bring that up here. Oh, I don't quite have that captured right. Let's bring that over. And this is going to be, this TAS does the best ending in, let's see, what was it? 7 minutes and 44 seconds. That's minute and 30 seconds faster than what we just saw. Once again, tool assisted is, it's a run that is uses like save states or slow down tools or whatever you can do to achieve the fastest time. So we're gonna see some really crazy stuff that I'm not sure if is replicatable.
Yeah, there's also a drop. They're able to change the drops, so they don't have to worry about points as much as long as they have an item, and they're able to manipulate and change it. You will see it on boss 3. They're able to have 3 bombs in a row, even though he didn't have bombs in his inventory.
Whoa, what's that about? Dang.
Let's say some manipulation they're able to exploit.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna post Mr. Becored's channel in the chat room. So, okay, Icarus got it. Thank you. All right, so cool. Yeah, let's get into it. This is gonna go really quick. So, pay attention. All right, so 3, 2, 1, go. Jesus.
I don't know how he's able to stop that star when he got the secret item.
I looked away, so I missed it.
He's running backwards, which is funny.
Like,
brings so much speed into the tunnel, he basically warps through it. He jumps off the platform. You're not able to do that.
So that tunnel, we didn't really mention it before, but if you maintain momentum, you can do consecutive 3-frame jumps through the whole thing and maintain all of your momentum. By a human, you can get through there pretty, kind of quick, but not nearly that quick. Oh my god, what the hell?
Yeah, that star ride where you're just able to throw a star and then jump forward and ride it. That's pretty impossible to do.
Those are really quirky star rides, and you really only see them on accident.
Oh,
I was wondering if you could do this. Nice.
Yeah, you can.
Nice. I was always wondering about that. Wow. Oh my. Oh man.
A right entry to the top.
Now that star ride might be doable. Holy.
Yeah, totally might. That one might be doable. Gets a huge push off the bird. Kills him early just to show off, basically. You wouldn't do that in the real run.
This TAS is just...
Gets there super easy, early. He waits a second there at the very end because he would have got killed if he pushed him right off too early.
Yeah, well, yeah. Are you referring to,
It's 2 bomb drops there.
Wow.
Which I don't know how.
It's just timing. Super...
Well, the first bomb...
Robot timing.
The rock must have, like, a perfect 1,000 or whatever scoring, because the first one...
Oh yeah, yeah.
You'd be changing your score, so it must
Yeah.
be perfect. I don't know.
It must. Yeah, it must be. Wow.
So look at his inventory. He has a bomb and he has 2 fireballs. And when we get into this boss, they're going to be all bombs. There's that star ride a little bit.
Maintain momentum here. The 3-frame
Yeah.
jumps.
Through the entire thing. Get some more speed there.
Yep. Oh,
See? 3 bombs.
where the? Wonder what's the deal with that, huh? They disappeared. Hacks, man, hacks. Oh my god. Yeah, so the TAS just really exploits the game system. You can see just how crazy this game can get. It's really a testament to the game itself.
That star ride was really good. Look how high he is on this one.
Jeez. Oh,
I like that second star ride a lot. I think
Oh.
that might be manageable.
Maybe. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Becored says there's down, up, and D-pad down and D-pad up things you can do to get. I think that was
Okay.
what that was with the extra bombs.
Yeah, it's funny. Sunsoft always has like an up glitch in all their games.
Really?
Yeah, in Heberiki, you can like do you can do manipulation of the characters by holding up during certain times.
So
In Journey to Celius, you want to hold up to maintain your fastest speed instead of right to run right.
interesting with that Chickadee boss. We didn't mention it before, but you can get an early hit on him with just a regular star. But it's like a 2 or 3 frame window. But if you use a bomb, the active hitbox in the bomb is longer, so you're able to get that really easily. But we didn't actually mention that before. I think there's also a second 3 frame early hit on that last part, but it doesn't really change as much.
So he doesn't take the cart, so the
Oh my God.
the bomb guy's not even able to get to him because he blocks him.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what star ride that was.
TS is like legit.
Now Cypher's working on a TAS too, which has a lot of weird things going on.
I'm sure they'd be different.
Yeah, it's a lot different than this. Pico aired it one day during the stream.
Silly.
So quick.
Interestingly, he timed the explosion of that bomb perfectly to the music. Must be the final moment that you can actually get that early hit. Or maybe he just did that for fun. Actually, I think if you hit him like the earliest, you still have to wait a little bit to get the second hit. Actually, oh my god.
Oh, he throws a really lagged star there because he's running backwards. So
Well-
that one star takes care of the hamster.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Wow. What? What? It's just pure what?
That grind right there is so good. Super
Wow.
early.
That's a super ride.
Yeah.
The super.
Skips the first
Oh, that's how. Oh, I see. I see. You can just skip it.
wizard. Oh, you can.
Nice, you get the double hit. And then, yeah, sometimes
double-
you can. Yeah, sometimes you can do that double hit.
Double
in an
hits are
actual
so
run.
good.
It's nice to get an actual run. It's like a present. Yeah, let's see you speed through this part.
You
No.
will.
Oh, yeah. Well, I meant the little cutscene.
Oh, the dog for the walk. Oh, he doesn't now.
Oh, cool. Wow. There probably are a few things from the TAS that could be incorporated, but if Becored hasn't done it, I don't know how viable they are. Nice. There's the quirky star ride there. I call them the quirky ones.
Alright, so he'll get an early kill on this. Oh, he threw a fireball at the end. That's nice.
That's neat.
So he didn't even get him matched up against the wall.
Wow.
We didn't see a normal quick kill because Biko did it from the left to right, and then that one he didn't even get against the wall.
Yeah, that was even different. Yeah. Jeez, that's insane. So yeah, I mean, clearly Sunsoft developed like just an insane system in this game, and the TAS just really shows it off. Holy crap, it's too much, man. I gotta change my pants to shit my pants. It's too good. Anyway, so that's pretty much all our replays. But damn, if there's any questions and anyone in the chat room has about the game, we could probably answer them. Otherwise, we'll probably just be wrapping up this episode in a little bit here. If probably have a couple lingering thoughts here and there, but
thank you to everybody that's ran the game. Thank you, Cypher, for introducing it to us, you know, or at least to me, and then Biko for running it and really pushing the time on it.
Yeah, it's really cool to have that sub 10.
And it's cool, the community seems to, you know, like a lot of other games, but Cypher would be in Biko's chat and, you know, giving him answers and questions and stuff like that. Even though this is a time, his previous time of 10-14, I don't think he ever thought was going to get beat. He was at it for a long time too.
Yeah.
I went back and watched all of his streams when he was going for it, and the fact that somebody got a sub 10 is just insane. I don't think he's not currently running games right now. I don't think he'll go back at it.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the community is definitely supportive. So if anyone is interested in speedrunning, we're all here. I'll myself, Becored will of course still answer questions. I bug him sometimes about stuff, and most of all, you should just play the game.
Yeah, definitely give it a try. Well, that's it for me.
Yeah, see if anyone has any questions. Otherwise, that's probably going to wrap up Awesome Game Replays, episode number 12. Thank you all for co-hosting this with me.
Thank you for
couldn't have thought of anybody better.
I'm still running the game at a nice 15 minutes if you want to watch me. And Aquas is still grinding at the game as well.
Yes, I am in fact speedrunning it myself. Moving on from the ghouls and gouts.
I don't think there's anybody else currently. I'm looking at the list. Yeah, I don't think there's anybody else. PLD is 90X is running it now and then as well.
But yeah, I think it's just, I think it is not only just a masterpiece of gaming, but like one of the better NES speedruns as well. Just for the sheer like exhilaration of riding the stars and just all the finesse it takes and the improvisation that you need to do as well. Like, it's a really, really fun speedrun, and you can actually take to it a bit gradually. It's a nice learning process as well. But I will say, yeah, that boat skip and the early cannonball ride, those are pretty tough. So, but you can still, even not doing those, you could probably still get a pretty decent time. So I mean, it's very fun. It's a really fun game. That's really the bottom line. I feel like feel like there's probably some more stuff to say, but there's just the amount of good game design in this game is just, it's off the wall. Like I say, there's a lot of visual cues in the background for showing you like where to throw stars, and there's a lot of things that kind of teach you. The game will just teach you on its own just by playing it, and things you'll realize you just kind of realize after you play it for a while too. And just getting the best ending is a really nice goal for any gamer. You'll feel a nice sense of satisfaction getting that for the first time.
Definitely,
because you got a 1 credit clear, and that's not that easy when you're starting to do the star rides. It's like you really just have to. It's like getting used to this riding those stars. That is the first big step to getting the best ending. But it's also notorious. The best ending is also pretty notorious, I think, in the NES library for like a conditioned best ending. Can't think of many other games that have something quite so fully fledged as it. We have all these other items, and that they require you to master the game on another level to actually
and without continuing,
achieve the best ending and not continuing to.
Now, when I was learning the game, I did find out if you get to the last stage, you can continue from the last stage.
Yeah, that's correct.
So if you at least get that far, you have some breath to learn that last stage, and then you can go for a personal goal of doing it without continuing.
Definitely. Oh, so good. This episode went longer than I expected, actually, an hour and 30 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, we can ramble.
We rambled, and I still feel like, there's just so much more to say, but... too good. All right,
Too
guys.
awesome.
So that's Awesome Game Replays number 12. Everyone, take it easy. Have a great Sunday and the rest of the weekend. I think we'll have a SCG weekly episode next weekend, maybe alternating Awesome Game Replays and SCG Weekly, but you know how it goes. SCG maybe, STG whatever. You guys can make your jokes, but we'll have the episodes happening at some point. Okay. All right, later, everyone. Take care.
Bye.